welcome to Historical Happenings. I'm Calista Hanna. That's the magpie. G'day and welcome to Historical Happenings. I'm Calista Hanna. And that was cringy. Hello. G'day. Welcome to the Manhattan Project. That's what we're doing, but that's not what I was meant to be saying. Basically, I'm very new to YouTube. This is my first ever video and I thought I'd give you a bit of a background information as to why this crazy bogan is going to be prattling on about some random historical event for however long it takes for me to prattle on about this random historical event. Basically, I've always loved history. Ever since I was a small child, still do love history. But I loved acting better. So much in fact that I thought I'd make a career out of it. Or try to make a career out of it. Struggling acting vibes. Anyway, basically here I am a year later with a $15,000 degree and nothing to show for it. So one day I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna make something out of it. So here I am combining my two great loves of history and drinking whilst using my 15 grand screen and media diploma. Disclaimer, I suppose I need to do a disclaimer. Disclaimer, I do swear a lot. I'm sorry, I'll try and tone it down for the kiddies. And I do drink a lot. I'm not endorsing drinking. I'm just saying, I'm drinking because it's, yeah. But hate on me if you want. I love the hate. Hate's fun. But anyway, this is a history channel and I will be speaking every week, hopefully, if I don't procrastinate, because let's face it, we all procrastinate, about a historical topic or an event or something that happened in the past every week. So let's get right to it. The Manhattan Project, basically, it's a research development that took place in the Second World War from 1939 to the 31st of December 1946. Yeah. Basically, this all started because everyone was afraid that the Germans were going to get in front of them with nuclear weapons and atomic bombs and shit like that. And basically, once that happened, well, shit was going to go south pretty fucking fast, which is probably a legitimate fear, seeing as, the Germans had been playing with nuclear weapons ever since the 30s. Also, maybe because nuclear fusion was discovered in Germany by this fucking legend. A bloke named Otto Hahn, a German chemist who discovered nuclear fusion. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1944 for his discovery and also directly contributed to the development of an atomic bomb. So good on you, mate, you fucking legend. So basically, this is how shit went down. The UK was playing around with nuclear shit, the Americans were playing around with nuclear shit. It soon became apparent that the British were doing better at playing around with nuclear shit, so they were like, yo, America, you can take all our scientists and our information and you can fuck off over there and you can do it. And they were like, sweet, because we're going to win this war together. Teamwork, woo. Anyhow, President Roosevelt, who was the president of America at the time, went, yo, we need to get all these scientists, all these smart people under one roof. We need to get this shit happening. Shit needs to get moving before the Germans drop some bombs on us. And that, kiddies, is exactly what he did. So basically, he chucked all these intelligent fuckers into one room and said, yo, you're gonna build an atomic bomb and this bloke over here is gonna be in charge, Robert Oppenheimer, who would be soon become known as the father of the atomic bomb. And by the way, the military's gonna be in charge of you guys, so I hope you don't mind. Yeah, anyhow, this was all happening because shit's scared of the Germans, you know? They're gonna get in front of us and whatnot. I mean, that could have been true because the Germans had a lot of very smart scientists who just so happened to have fled from Germany to America and England and such, and were now working on the Allies' bombs and shit. Because they were just like, yeah, nah, fuck this shit, we're out. Anyhow, President Roosevelt goes, righto, all you fuckers get into this section here. We're going to get everybody under one roof. And that section was called Los Alamos, New Mexico, which was pretty much a top secret city, shrouded in secrecy. Just shit was not coming in, shit was not going out. This shit was real. 1,500 people were actually working on this experiment, this project, these two massive fuck off bombs. And the whole ordeal cost $2 billion to make and to do everything, which is still quite a fucking significant amount of money, but like in today's money, it's $25 billion. Shit, how do you like those apples? Anyway, about the actual working in the Manhattan Project and being in Los Alamos, this shit, they had that crap on lockdown. Basically, the whole place was surrounded by like barbed wire fences. There was guards. You needed a fucking piece of paper to walk in and out. Like, even the kids were secret. Anyone born in Los Alamos, on their little birth certificate as the place of birth was literally P.O. Box 1663, New Mexico. And that was also just so happened to be the mailing address for everything that came in and out of the place. Like, it was machinery to... My wine's gone, this sucks. Machinery to letters. People weren't allowed magazine subscriptions because it was all sus and everything was just blah. You couldn't even tell your husband or your wife or your spouse what the fuck you were doing at work. You're just like, yeah, just there. Also, everybody had fake names. You couldn't tell anyone your real name if they didn't know what your real name was. Anyhow, so everyone had fake names. It's a pretty nice place to live, apparently. You needed like a friggin' authority. You needed authority to leave work. Basically, somebody had to let you leave work. You couldn't be like, yo, bro, I'm gonna fucking be sick. They're gonna be like, no, you don't have authority to leave. In 1944, the bombs started being tested. So basically, my egg's still hot. They started testing them throughout this year. That's when they tested the big bomb in New Mexico, which is actually where you see most of those pictures of the atomic bomb. You know, the big old black and white one exploding somewhere. Yeah, that would be from that test, pretty much. Anywho, onto the actual bombs. Fuck, that's hot. You feel ripped off when your egg's half hollow. Tell you what. Basically, the Manhattan Project, these two bombs that they made, which his name was Little Boy and Fat Man, they were made for the purpose of making the Japanese surrender. The Japanese were like, nah, I don't really feel like surrendering. They're like, you really should. They're like, nah. Anyhow, they decided that Nagasaki would be a perfect target because, you know, no American prisoners of war there, so let's go for there. So basically, they said to Japan, you know, you guys should surrender. They were like, nah. After no surrender, on August the 6th, 1945, the Edna Gay bomber plane, which was an American bomber plane, obviously, flew over with the yet untested Little Boy, which was the name of the little bomb, and at 1,900 feet, dropped him over Hiroshima. He actually exploded at 600 feet above the ground, and the ground temperature when this bitch went off, holy fuck, was 3,500 degrees Celsius. And the mushroom cloud was 10,000 feet high. Fuck that shit. Basically, it caused death and damage over a 5-mile radius, 5 square mile radius. Fucked. And so America said to Japan again, yo, bro, you want to surrender? That was a bit of a fucked blow. They were like, nah, we'll live. So they were like, okay. And 3 days later, without a surrender, on the 9th of August, 1945, Fat Man was the name of the bomb. Fat Man was dropped over Nagasaki, which was the site of a torpedo building site. That shit was bad. It destroyed more than 3 square miles of city and everything inside it, basically. The two bombs combined together absolutely fucking totaled two cities and had a joint death toll of 100,000 people. So basically, I need to read my notes for this one. 295,325 people were killed at Hiroshima. That's like the exact details, roundabout details. And 1,000 and yeah, it's at this moment the Hockel Herry Creek Flocker arrives. And 165,409 people were killed at Nagasaki. Fuck. Basically, after that, Japan informed Washington, who was now under the leadership of Harry Truman because Roosevelt had died. His last words were something about, "Oh my, I have a terrible headache," something like that. So basically, they informed Washington, yeah, no, we're fucked. We're gonna surrender now. And they officially surrendered on August 14th, 1945. Also, the Manhattan Project was code for the American-led effort to produce a functional atomic weapon. And that's the T. Yeah, you know, because you can't just run around telling every cunt you're building a bomb in the back shed. The British scientists working in the British project before the Americans took over, his names were, he was Austrian, Otto Fritsch, and German-born Brit called Rodolphe Pierrels. Yes, that's what his name was. And basically that's how that shit went down. Anywho, goodbye, and good luck, and good night. Suppose I should why can't I talk? Suppose I should give you some backstory on why I've decided to call myself the Hockel Herry Creek Flocker. Basically, the Hockel Herry Creek Flocker is a fictitious bird that I made up when I was like 6. Only child vibes, bit lonely, you know. Anyhow, I've come to see it as my drunken alter ego. Yeah, we've all got one of them. Because, yeah, we're just not the same person, you know. There's like Calista and then there's that. Anywho, because I'll be drinking a lot, she's going to come out a few times, so I may as well just call myself the Hockel Herry Creek Flocker.